back, friends and foodies. My name is Natalka. I'm your host, and you are listening to my podcast, I Hate Dishes. All right, so I don't have a lot that has gone on over the last 2 weeks since my last podcast, but we do have a few things to catch up on. So let's talk about my lobster roll video. Okay, so I had posted that probably 2 weeks ago. It was around the 17th. I posted it on the 17th of February, and I was so excited. So I was supposed to post my video about Panna Cotta, but I had to push that one because making lobster rolls had made me so happy because I really didn't think we were going to get our hands on any lobster for lobster season. But we did. We bought 2 live lobsters, and I show you guys how we cook them. Now, there's several ways, and people will argue this is the best way, that's the best way, and everybody has their own way of how they like to cook lobster. I just showed you how we cook it in our home. Very simple. I also show you guys how to crack it all open and then turn it into a lobster roll. So cracking it open, I've been doing this for years and years living in Nova Scotia. You learn how to crack open a lobster and how to do it efficiently, we'll say. So I love lobster. It's definitely one of my favorite seafood to eat, but I don't get it very often. So anyway, the lobster rolls themselves. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to make it and how to make it fancy. And the traditional way that I've always remembered it growing up and eating it is you have the lobster all chopped up with some mayo. And I don't know why people have to put in celery. Oh my God, I have such a hate for celery. I really do. For so many little things. I like it in other things, but anyway, it does not belong in a lobster roll. So that's, what's usually in it. A little bit of salt and pepper, sometimes a little bit of lemon juice, just to add a bit of zing to it. And then it's put into a New England style hot dog bun. And the bun itself is usually buttered on the outside and then lightly fried just to give it a little bit of crispiness. And some places will put a little bit of lettuce in the bottom of the bun and then put all the lobster roll filling in it after that. Okay, so that's the typical way of making it. Now, over the years, people have really jazzed it up and changed it, and from making it, we kind of have our own style now. I like mine with lemon juice in it to give it a little bit more zing. I like a tiny little bit of dill in it and some salt and pepper and a whole bunch of mayo. I don't need the lettuce. I definitely don't need the celery because I really hate celery in my sandwiches. So I didn't put any of that stuff in it. And I had put them on homemade focaccia buns. I didn't show you guys how to make those. I'm saving that for a video later, which I have a short made of it, and we will discuss that later. So, I did not use the New England style buns this time. My husband had made some fresh buns, and that's what we used. So, I like it that way. My husband likes a little bit of crunch in his. So he doesn't mind the celery. He's not big on it, but he doesn't mind it. For him, adding a little bit of lettuce in, some fresh chopped lettuce, gave it just enough of a crunchiness with the lobster that he loved. And his was very simple, a little bit of salt and pepper, some mayo, done. Very simple. But these are like, oh my gosh, when we can get our hands on lobster, we love making lobster rolls out of them. That's if I don't eat all of the lobster first dipped in some garlic butter or just some plain butter. All right, so now we have confirmed I really love lobster. We can move on now. So my next video that I had posted was Panna Cotta. And I meant for this to actually come out on the 17th, but because of the lobster roll, I pushed it a week. And I had to make a little bit of a note in it because I had said, I hope everyone enjoyed the Super Bowl and had a great Valentine's. And here the video doesn't come out for like a week after Valentine's. But that's okay. It is what it is. So, Panna Cotta, I can't even remember the last time I've ever made it. And I don't know what I had used to give it like that Jell-O effect. Like Panna Cotta is like Jell-O, but made with milk. And I don't even remember what I ever used to get that gel effect. So this time I had used this Knox gelatin powdered stuff. And oh gosh, I don't know if I've ever used it. So I had to follow the instructions on the package. And it was pretty easy to do. It turned out really well. It's just when I made the fruit mixture, I should have added more of the fruit into each of the cups and made fewer cups, because when I made the cream part, I ran out of it and I didn't have enough to fill all the cups that I had made. So I ended up making a second batch just to fill up the rest of the cups. But besides that, it turned out fantastic. The milk part of it was creamy and it had such a nice vanilla taste to it. And then balanced with the tropical fruit, because I didn't add much sugar to it. It was quite tart, and the two tastes just balanced. You get the really tart from the fruit, the sweet vanilla from the cream, and I am so happy I made it. It turned out fantastic. It's something that I would make again for a little party or get together. And yeah, it was a good recipe to play around with. And I really enjoyed it. It would definitely make a really nice fancy dessert for, a date night or something like that. Or if you're trying to impress friends, family, a significant other, a little crush, anything like that. It's beautiful. Turns out really well, especially once you figure out how to use the gelatin part. So once I figured that out, it was easy to do. So anyway, that video was it was fun. I enjoyed making that one. I also really enjoyed eating them. So you're caught up now on my last two videos that I've done. So, let's talk about this audition that I went to. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the audition next. So this audition that I went to, as I explained in my last podcast, this is for the Great Canadian Baking Show. And it's all about amateur bakers that are competing for the title of the Great Canadian Baker. So it's really, I love the show now that I've binge watched it, and everybody on it is fantastic and down to earth, and you can see that they're real. They're real people. They're not professionals, and they make mistakes, and I love it. So I went to the audition, okay, and I practiced all week to get just the right baked item. And I had told you guys that I was going to do like a blueberry vanilla cake or something with a lemon cheesecake filling. So I toyed with it a bit. I tried different combinations, and oh my gosh, I had so much cake around the house all week that I don't think I want to eat cake or make it or bake it, nothing for a little while. So I ended up actually making a blueberry champagne cake, and I did a Swiss meringue buttercream to use as kind of like my barrier and my structure to build the cake. And then the filling was, it was a lemon cheesecake filling, but I used the gelatin just like I did with the panna cotta, and I made it more like panna cotta in the middle of it so it would hold its shape and not be too soft or slide. Like, I didn't want each layer of cake to slide off of the other layer, so it worked out really well. I also did naked cakes. So I know that sounds really weird, but what I mean is that I didn't take icing, frosting, or fondant or anything and cover my cake in it. I left all the layers completely open so that you could see everything. I also made 6 individual cakes, and they were just little mini cakes that I took to the audition with me. And each of those cakes, you could see every layer of cake that I put in it and every layer of icing in it as well. And then I only decorated the very top of the cake with some pretty little flowers and a little meringue that I made. And I thought they turned out beautifully. So I felt great going to the audition. I was nervous. Yes, of course, I was nervous. I've never done anything like this before, but I felt confident. I thought what I made was amazing. It tasted great. The flavors went really well together. I was really excited. And I got there early. Not early enough because I was the 7th person to show up. But you know what? 7 is my lucky number. So let's hope that 7 is actually lucky. So I get there and I get all signed in and I meet one of the other bakers who happened to show up just after me, and she was absolutely lovely and her item was amazing. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. And looking around at what everybody brought, these people are talented. They were so talented and are talented. Oh my gosh, the amount of work and thought that everybody put into their items to bring to this audition were amazing. And I had a great time chatting with other people and just finding out about each person. So overall, it was a really fun experience. And even if I don't make it on the show, which if I do, I don't think I can say anything anyway. I would have to keep it all hush-hush for a while. But the experience of going to the audition was absolutely worth it. And if I don't make it through, it's not a big deal. I have a whole year to practice and really work on my skills as an at-home baker, at-home cook, and make something for the next audition even more amazing. Like, really blow them away for the next one. So I have a whole year to come up with some amazing ideas. But overall, you know what? It was worth the experience just to go and do it and put myself out there and talk to other people. You know, I got to chat with other people and see how they felt and what they made, and it was amazing. That's all I can say is it was amazing, and I would do it again. And once I was in there, I really wasn't that nervous. I don't know why. I guess I calmed my nerves and I said, this is for the fun. Go for the experience. Go for the fun of it. And it made it better. So if you're ever thinking of auditioning for something, just do it. Do it because the experience is worth it. So anyway, now I just wait, see if I get a call back or not. I have no idea, but that's all I can tell you guys anyway. So, it was a lot of fun. All right, so now let's chat about what's coming up. Yeah, let's talk about what's coming up. The weekend of the 17th, so the same weekend of the audition, we went over to a friend's place and had homemade pizza. And their son was home, and he always makes homemade dough, and it turns out fantastic. So I decided, you know what? I don't do a lot of breads or doughs very often. Okay, pretty much never. So I am kind of on a bread kick at the moment. I am going to be making my own pizza dough. I'm making my own sourdough. I'm making my own focaccia, ciabatta, whatever. I am on a bread and dough kick at the moment. So my next few videos are all going to be sort of that related. Somewhat. Into March. Let's talk about going into March. My next video is actually risotto. And I've never made risotto, so it's interesting. We'll talk about that in the next podcast too, but just so you know, the next video coming out is risotto, mushroom risotto to be exact. But after that, yeah, it's going to be bread and more dough. I did do a short video recently, a couple days ago, and I had tried to make just a plain focaccia. No flavors in it, just very simple. It's the same focaccia that my husband had made for our lobster rolls. And it turned out really great. So we said, let's try it again. So we made it again, and this time he's like, no, we don't want to put flour on the pan. Let's put a little bit of oil on the pan and then put the bread on it, the focaccia on it, and then add some more oil. And I'm like, okay, sure, let's do that. So we did that, and the bottom of the focaccia was quite crispy from putting oil on it. And the top was great, fantastic, turned out awesome. And he's like, yeah, maybe next time we use flour. Okay, lesson learned. The oil makes it too crispy if you put it on the parchment paper and then put the bread on it. But it turned out awesome. It was very light in taste and made really great sandwiches. So I posted that recently. That was my short that I posted. And I had posted it, and my brother had sent me a message and said, hey, check this out. It talks about unchecking some boxes when you post videos. You should try it and see if it makes a difference. And so I went back to that video, that short that I had posted, and looked at it and was like, okay, so yeah, it only had maybe 30 views on it. Not even, maybe it was 22, something like that. So I took it off. I deleted the post from my YouTube channel, and I reposted it. This time I unchecked a box that, whatever, he said to uncheck this box and see what happens. And I did. I unchecked it. I posted the video. Everything was the same except for that one little box. And I noticed now today, because I reposted it today as I'm recording my podcast here, that it has already gone up past 300 views. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how does this, the algorithm just, I can't wrap my head around it sometimes about posting it with checking this one box that says, I think it's to notify all your subscribers and something feed versus not doing that. And they said, only do this really for shorts. So I tried it, and it made a huge difference for that one little video. So anyway, just something new that I learned today about posting shorts. So anyway, it was all about the focaccia. I am going to actually do a video of making homemade pizza dough. I'm also going to do a video of sourdough bread. This weekend, I attempted to make my own sourdough starter. I'm really excited because it looks like it's growing really well. Eventually, I will show you guys how I did the starter. Let's see. But I am going to use it and make a loaf of sourdough bread with it, and I ordered my new Dutch oven so I can make it. So those are a couple videos that are going to be coming up. I will also make an actual, I think I'm going to do focaccia, and I'll do a flavor one. And I don't know, I might cut it into more, uniform sizes and stuff. We'll see. Either way, I'm on a bread kick, so be prepared for a whole bunch of bread-related videos that are going to be coming up. Also, going into March, so for us at home, our hometown, it's maple season, and the maple farm is open, and I can't wait to go home and go up to the maple farm, buy all my favorite maple products, eat pancakes with maple syrup, and not have to make them myself. So it's maple season through March and April. So I'm also going to try and do more things with maple flavors for the next 2 months, roughly. We'll throw it in there. We'll see, how I work it into each of my videos, or just a couple here and there. Maybe I'll just do a couple shorts with maple related things in it. We'll see. So that is, I guess I had way more going on than what I thought. Lot more to catch up on. So that's it. I think I have you guys all caught up, and a look at my plans for the next month or so. I think it's been a really good day. Good podcast today. So that's it for today's podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you are enjoying them. Please remember to like them, share them. Check out all my links and my videos, and keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. And I don't know, let's say in the next 2 weeks, I'll post another podcast. I'm thinking every 2 weeks. That seems to be working for me. So hit the notification bell so that you'll know when a new one comes out. And I'll see you guys around for my next video.